Hello, everyone. Today I'm sharing with you, how is a high-end store design created? This is a question many sellers inevitably encounter after reaching a certain stage when they shift their focus from "can I sell" to "can I sell better?" You may have noticed the products aren't bad and the prices aren't low, but when you open the store, it always feels like something's missing, a certain quality. So you start trying, changing templates, changing color schemes, changing styles. The result is often, the more you try, the more uncertain you become. The more you try to achieve a high-end feel, the more awkward it feels. The reason isn't complicated. A high-end feel is never created by simply piling on design elements. Below, I won't discuss design techniques, but rather break down how a high-end store design truly is formed from 4 levels: cognition, structure, expression, and restraint. First, the conclusion. The essence of a high-end feel is not being in a rush to sell. This may sound counterintuitive, but it applies to almost all stores that achieve a high-end feel. The common characteristic of a cheap feel is haste. The first characteristic of sophistication is composure. When a user enters a store and immediately feels a screen full of selling points, constant urging, and all information vying for attention, subconsciously they'll judge, "This store is in a hurry, afraid you won't buy." Sophistication, on the other hand, is the opposite. It doesn't rush to prove itself. Second, the first step to sophistication. The structure must be quiet. Many people mistakenly believe that sophistication comes from color, images, and style. But what truly differentiates us is often the structural level. Sophisticated stores almost always have these characteristics. One screen does only one thing. There's a clear sense of breathing space between modules. They don't throw all the information at once. You'll find the page content is actually quite substantial, but it doesn't look cluttered, crowded, or noisy. The first source of sophistication is information order. Third, the second step to sophistication, clear prioritization. Not everything matters. The common state of ordinary stores is, they want to sell everything, they want to emphasize every point. The result is, the focus is diluted. The page appears overly forceful. A sophisticated store, however, is selective. It clearly tells you, look at this first. The others are supplementary. It's not afraid you'll only look at a part, but rather afraid you'll be overwhelmed. Daring to omit is a necessary condition for sophistication. Sophistication is not less information, but restrained information presentation. This is a very easily misunderstood point. Sophistication, less information, but rather information appears just right. You'll find that sophisticated pages have fewer selling points, but they are all in key positions, and they are not repeatedly emphasized. They won't appear the same selling point. Insert it in 3 modules. Repeatedly said in 3 ways. Repetition is one of the major sources of cheapness. The third step to sophistication. Visuals aren't just for looks, they're for giving way. In a sophisticated store, the role of visuals is to take a back seat. It won't steal information, create noise, overly express itself. Instead, it will focus on service content, highlight key points, make it easy for users to understand. This is why many sophisticated pages using few colors. The design isn't complex, but the overall feel is very comfortable. The more the visuals try to prove themselves, the more cheap the page will appear. 6. The fourth step to sophistication. Copywriting must be specific but not exaggerated. Sophisticated stores rarely use these expressions. Extreme, disruptive, top-tier, unprecedented. Not because they can't be used, but because the more sophisticated the expression, the less it needs emotional amplification. You'll see them use more specific descriptions, clear explanations, rational expressions. For example, how to use suitable for what scenarios, What are the differences? Vague descriptions will quickly lower trust. 7. The fifth step to sophistication: stable rhythm, not every screen feeling heavy. Many sellers, in an effort to appear sophisticated, make every screen feel full. But truly sophisticated pages have a rhythm with varying degrees of emphasis. Emphasis in some areas, transitions in others, and white space in still others. This rhythmic variation creates a crucial feeling for the user. This store is stable, and stability itself is a form of sophistication. Bait. Why do many paid attempts at sophistication fail? Because they often make the same mistake. They only imitate the appearance, not the logic. For example, imitating color schemes without reducing content, imitating layouts without adjusting structure, imitating styles without controlling the rhythm. The result is, it looks like it, but it doesn't work right. Sophistication isn't something you imitate, it's something you manage. A very practical self-check method. You can use this question to judge your page. If I don't look at the price and only look at the page, would I feel that this store is eager to sell me things? If the answer is yes, then the sense of sophistication is probably not yet established. A practical piece of advice for sellers who want to create a sophisticated store: don't pursue sophistication from the start. The truly effective path is, first achieve clarity, then achieve stability, and finally consider quality. When your page is not cluttered, not rushed, not noisy, the sense of sophistication will naturally emerge. In short, a sophisticated store design isn't about doing more, but about doing less is more. When your page becomes restrained, stable, clear, and composed, regardless of the price range of the products you sell, it will appear more trustworthy.